Cover Story. Hi, I'm Debbie. Anger as Jamaican DJs are overlooked by Billboard. Beanie Man and Bounty Killer taking verses online to new heights. But the music mag leaving them out of the big picture as it highlights the virtual event with a cover story.
Let's get it poppin', get it poppin', get it poppin', yo.
Versus the brainchild of mega music producers Swiss Beats and Timbaland. A virtual party presenting top names matching skills in a friendly playoff. Entertainment-starved viewers impacted by a killer pandemic tuning in large numbers to the selector showdowns on Instagram and other social media platforms. But the dancehall edition of Versus, the standout installment. DJ heavyweights Beanie Man and Bounty Killer breaking the rules and raising the stakes.
God knows. God knows.
Music biz celebrities among the bump in viewership. Thumbs up from all quarters. And Jamaica showcased better than any JTB ad. So consternation this week as Billboard magazine's cover highlighting the Versus effect included an all-US cast, but no Beanie or Bounty.
I seen the cover and was happy and was bugging at the same time. I'm like, we gotta, you know.
No,
but
that's what I was like. I ain't know. I smiled and I frowned. I was like,
Nah, it's all good. That's why we photoshopped ourselves out and put Bounty and Beanie in there because, you know, they did something that was super amazing.
Do you want to be that guy?
The Jamaicans shut out eliciting tame comment from Swiss Beats and Timbaland, who seemed more concerned with not offending Billboard than criticizing the photo fiasco.
Well, Swiss and Timbaland are naturally not going to want to upset a base of their market that delivered the goods for them. They know, even though I'm kind of skeptical as to they had no idea that the Beanie and Bounty were going to be snubbed from the cover. I'm not quite sure. That looks a little bit shady. But otherwise, I think, yes, they were smart as producers to come out and speak out on behalf of that demographic.
But the damage already done. The Jamaicans' contribution given space in the cover story, but missing tellingly and literally from the Billboard.
Maybe Billboard and their editors have decided that these people don't necessarily appeal to Billboard readers, and in an economy of space, such small real estate, they didn't think it was worthy. But for me, it opens them up to so many other things, because within the whole colorism debate in dancehall, if it was two brown men like Shaggy and Sean Paul, oh gosh, they would have definitely have made it.
No,
but then the other argument is
on.
that Shaggy and Sean Paul
are bigger names.
They are bigger names in a Billboard context. However, Anthony, numbers do not lie. It is absolute rubbish quantitatively and qualitatively when we look at that Versus effect of the dance hall night, because we saw numerically dancehall flexed its massive muscles, and qualitatively when we saw the quality of people who came out and were busting a blank, so to speak, you cannot deny the massive impact quantitatively and qualitatively that dancehall music had. So Billboard comes off as being kind of cheeky when they are taking a position of snubbing them from the cover. And if a cover is supposed to be a reflection of the story that's in the pages to come, then this was not representative of your story.
Historically, we have been badly treated by mainstream media. It is clear that these guys are hugely popular. You cannot use the traditional metrics in terms of record sales to gauge the popularity of people like Beanie and Bounty. These are figures that have appeal right across the spectrum. You only need to have seen who were the people watching on Versus that night and commenting. The creme de la creme of pop music.
Wee, she's on the live. Wee, you see Mimi?
That's what Versus really proved. That when they have the platform, people will listen to the music. People know the Jamaican music. It's just that the traditional media platforms do not promote our music.
Is this a larger comment on the currency where dancehall is in the wider marketplace right now?
It might be a commentary on Jamaicans. Jamaicans don't buy music. Jamaicans don't, dancehall artists don't get rich from people buying their music. They make money from people paying to see them at live shows, or from dub plates. We don't buy music enough, and Billboard probably pays attention to particular metrics, so that's what matters to them. Now, I think another metric, of course, is, yes, streams. And aside from streams, you have views. People pay attention to how many views you get on YouTube. So, yes, while you might not be big on sales from a dancehall perspective, you cannot deny the numbers that dancehall artists clock. And I think Billboard has got to pay attention to that as well. But we have to do more to produce a music that appeals to big markets and that appeals to the metrics that matter to people like Billboard, maybe.
And to maybe develop a Caribbean market around music, around the music that comes out of the Caribbean.
Exactly, and a Caribbean market that says cha-ching when it matters.
Fact track. Controversial rap star samples 10-year-old dancehall number. Good news for music producer Leftside. Or is it? Anyway, the resulting recording by Tekashi 6ix9ine now with tens of millions of streams.
You know what he said? He said, yo, you know I'm from Brooklyn, right? I'm from Brooklyn, and I remember you and Sean Paul doing a show in New York, and I was there, and I was a fan.
Leftside recording Let's Call It Fat P Want Your Body back in 2010. Later released first with Mystic, then Sean Paul.
From the waist down, cheeks up, make it bubble, bubble, bubble. Want your body, 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 your body, I want your body, body, your body.
Fast forward to 2020, and Leftside gets a DM from the girlfriend of a notorious rapper who at that point is still incarcerated after being convicted for gang-related activity. That initial contact soon results in Tekashi, released early from prison because of asthma, pitching to the Jamaican for ownership of the track.
So I explained to myself, listen, this is my biggest song up to this day. You understand? I did it over a decade ago, and it has put so many food on my plate, and it's not for sale. You understand? What I'll do, you can give me a clearance fee, you see me? And my publishing and my royalties have to be in check. Don't worry about buying it, like that's not gonna happen. I never heard from him for a couple of weeks now, and this was in April, so like in early June, late May, early June, I get a phone call. Yo, we're gonna do this, just tell me what is it you want, blah, blah, blah. I told him all of the terms, lawyers talk to lawyers, everything happened, and then boom. That's it. Song was out.
So he wanted to buy it and you wanted him to buy into it.
Yeah, straight.
Because that works out better for you.
Yeah, long term. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, as artists, you need to like have your publishing. You need to sign up with a publishing company that's gonna administrate for you and trace these things for you. You understand? Me selling him that, I'm no longer the owner of the sample. Call it the song, cause that's the song. That's what made the song. So I was like, no, you know, not for sale.
Of course, there are little hip-hop elements in the song that, or his version of it. But what does it tell you that he wants to be on a dancehall rhythm?
What it tells me is that the world has not gotten enough of authentic dancehall. You know what I mean? Because there's a feel to it. So when Nicki Minaj, all these people, when they say they're gonna do the dancehall, that's the sound they go for. And I guess because that's the time where, before the cultural shift, because we have a big cultural shift now, you understand? We're not really into the our Jamaican style of dressing and a whole heap of things, even how we talk and how we party. We don't party like Jamaicans no more. We party like hip-hop people in the clubs. The girls, them all about the body dope and man about the bottles and the starlight. That's not our thing. Our thing is Guineas at your foot and dragon and red stripe and pan chicken,
gone
man.
are those days.
Yes, so those days, so I think that is why they still gravitate to that, because that was our culture, it was ours. That's what complemented the music. So I wouldn't really say it's really the sound per se, I think it's the culture. And as you can see, Tekashi, when he did it, he did the no style on it. With those the distorted 808 sounds and the trap snare. He still did the 2020 version of it. When we hear a lot of our music now, a lot of people say they don't hear the dancehall, and that's how they relate it to us. For countries out there in the world who just love the culture but they don't understand what we're saying, that was our signature, that was our stamp to say, yes, this is reggae and dancehall. No, we're not impacting the world like that anymore.
So we've lost the kind of confidence in what is ours,
I think,
and we want to imitate somebody else, or is that a little too easy?
I would say it's a confidence thing, because if you look at the hip-hop culture, it's very glamorous. And I think that's what people are attracted to. So I think even though if we're supposed to...
But it's very materialistic too.
It is.
And that's what we're also locked into.
It is. And I think that's why we have lost the essence of our culture, because our culture was never a materialistic culture. If you know dancehall, there's always a signature phrase that's playing through it, which is like this.
You can meet me at the party, yeah. You can bring a shawty, yeah. We're rolling in the Bugatti, yeah. Look around now, yeah. Time for you.
Right? So that's that signature phrase. Dum, 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 dum. See? And then now, when we talk about the dancehall now, this is where the drums come in. So we talk like this now.
Tune in to my station. For you, I got a real preparation. You need to send me your location. Let me light up your world like Akon. Yeah.
All right, now, you want to infuse a little trap into it? Listen to the hi-hat, because the trap hi-hat always have that double up thing, and it's an 808 sound, so listen to it.
Rolling with the Jamaican. Yeah, man. Yeah, you fry like bacon. So you know you're safe in the our nation. Yeah, we talk them no play.
And then we got more trap again.
Meet me at the party. Yeah.
So we have the dancehall drums, we have the trap hi-hat in it, we have the 808 clap, and then we have the vocal phrase playing that. That's not typical dancehall, but you're still getting the dancehall feel off of it. So that's my idea of fusing this thing. You see me?
Leftside now free from the record deal he was locked in for years, but Fat P made whilst contracted to Ultra, which retains ownership of the master recording.
You know, when I realized that they're not moving according to the pace that they should be, I was like, you know what, I'm going to act like this label don't even exist. So what I did, I just put out these music, I just put them out. When I got out of the deal, there was a couple of songs that I recorded for them to get out of the deal. And at the end of the day, to be honest with you, I'm not even worried about that. You know what I mean? The most they will come and do is claim some ownership on it. And yeah, whatever, but the song is out, the album does well, you don't know, that's show right there, and I still going to get my publishing anyway.
The album he just mentioned, brand new and titled Excitement, featuring Sean Paul and Conscience, but also some younger unknowns. So what are you saying to the kids these days though, the kids that still are maybe too steeped in this trap sound?
What I would tell them is this, like, yo, nothing is wrong with evolving, yo, that's always a good thing. But you can't evolve without research, you know what I mean? Like, research some stuff. That's what these people do. That's what they do all the time, you know? When you listen to Kanye with Jay-Z, even a lot of these new rappers, Lil Baby, not for them money. Because that's who they're really looking at, you know? Them doing them research. I listen to a lot of these young rappers and they're still taking stuff from back in the days and putting into their music to maintain the authenticity of hip-hop. So I would just say, yo, just do some research and hear where the thing coming from, you know what I mean? Check up Dave Kelly, Sly and Robbie, you know what I mean? The great producers, Bobby Digital and them money. Check those sounds and fuse it with what they're doing now.
Coffee perhaps a good example of getting the best of both worlds.
I love her music, you know what I mean? Somebody told me to listen to Lockdown. My favorite artist right now, she's doing music and she's capturing, you can hear a lot of the culture in her, even in her sound. You know what I mean? The things she's saying, it sounds like Jamaican people talking.
It's kind of sad that the flack she's getting is actually from Jamaicans.
It's always the case, like me get it, you know. Enough people coming at me about, yo, that's why you know make it in a dancehall, because you work with Snitch and Informer, and that is also a mentality that you know that contributes to limitations. You know what I mean? Like,
because it's anti-business.
Exactly. How that drop in? Like you're trying to tell me if Tekashi link them will do the same thing because it's business. Me no business about Tekashi personal life. I know my friend. Me and him no par. You understand what I'm for do? Yo, I'm going to pay you this. You get this amount of this percentage. You hear me? I Informer. You know, keep that. You know, it's done, man.
Leftside's album Excitement available as of today.
Excitement.
Get set.